Now, one of my beloved, well-loved subscribers to this channel has given me a great idea. I've always taken very careful note of her very well thought out comments, well, sometimes also very emotional comments. Yeah, but I appreciate both because we're human. And I love those people who are human on this channel. I love those people who are very genuine with me. They'll even tell me to my face. I'll create a video and they'll come here and they'll take in the video and then they'll quickly write a comment. Hi, Chris, welcome or no? Loosely translated, Chris, this time you have lost the plot. I don't agree with you. Chris, no. Hi, Chris, I don't believe it is you. I love those people. They're being real. And it doesn't mean that if they make such a comment, I blacklist them. No. It doesn't mean that I love them less. I forget the big support they gave me in another video. No. I love them more. Why? Because they're being real. Now I'm emphasizing that because being real in this life is very important. Indeed, if you're able to appreciate those around you who are real, it will save your life one day. And I'm very serious. Because the idea which you gave me and the idea which we're going to discuss in this video is the African wife. Now, there are very many men who assume women. There are very many men who treat women as if they're just objects, sex objects, objects of your desire, people without any brains. And it doesn't matter how smart you are as a woman, they'll always treat you the same. I went into an office one day, let me just tell you a story, with this man who comes from a community which behaves like that. And by the way, I'm not profiling. A lot of how we behave has to do with the environment, our upbringing. We're brought up in a certain way and you can't change that. And unfortunately, we don't choose where to be born. So I went into this office with this man from that community. And luckily, very fortunately for me, I was not going to look for a favor. Because if I was, my approach, my proposal would have been doomed from the start. Because immediately we entered the office, this man started laughing. And I got very annoyed, but I could understand how he was thinking, even though he didn't say a word. This was the office of a very powerful woman, yeah, luckily in the private sector. Yeah, because if it was government, the guy would have probably been arrested. And she had this huge office with all the trappings of power. Yeah, and she was not very old. She was actually about 30-something. Very attractive young lady. She had just come back from a certain foreign country. And in fact, she was still dressed the way women dress in that foreign country, with a very short miniskirt. And we were ushered to sit on the sofa and wait for her to finish something, yeah, in this very large, expansive office. And people were rushing in and out very respectfully. And this guy couldn't stop laughing. What this guy could not wrap his mind around was the fact that this woman was very powerful. A woman was powerful. Somebody, a gender which this man viewed as just children or maybe sex objects only. Now, of course, there are very many other men who will not laugh like that. They'll not expose their thoughts, but you can know what they're thinking. And unfortunately, such men are the vast majority in the country called Kenya. And you can imagine if that man has a wife, how he views his wife and how he treats his wife in decision making and how he looks at his wife as support for whatever he's doing in life. Yeah, but I'm going to shock you, yeah, about wives and what wives can do. Yeah, and I'll do that immediately after the short upcoming commercial break. You don't want to miss this. Welcome back. Now I can hear some of you saying, hey Chris, what's happening? This is a political channel. Well, this is politics. Yeah, this subject is very closely linked to our politics. In fact, it is bang in the middle of our politics. You cannot remove this topic from Kenyan politics. And I'll tell you how. These big government officials, some of whom are breaking the law left, right, and center, many of whom are doing things that will never stand the test of time, some of whom, as I make this recording, are behind bars, awaiting trial, some who have already been charged, some who are already in prison. All these people, do they have wives? Of course they do. Now, I put it to you that if the wives of these people were behaving the way wives are supposed to, if the wives of these people were taking up their role as they should, as wives, then these people would have avoided a lot of the problems they already are in. And even some of the problems they're about to enter, even if they don't know it yet. Now, I'm very keenly aware of the fact that a lot of the people I'm talking to are the kind of people they go somewhere for a walk in the park, and their wife is behind them carrying the child. And they're walking in front with their hands in their pockets. I'm very much aware of the fact that a lot of the people taking in this video are ashamed of their wives. These people will go for public functions with mpango ya kando. These people will go to close major deals with their mpango ya kando to impress them. Now I'm here to tell these people they are making a huge mistake. Because let me tell you of one very big secret I discovered many years ago from a very good pastor. God bless his heart. God bless his soul. God bless him. This pastor was talking to business people. This pastor has never been a business person, but they are a spiritual person. And they advised as follows. Whenever you're going to make a major business deal, whenever you're going to make any kind of deal, make sure you go with your wife. Why? Because if you go with your wife, it'll be impossible to con you. It'll be impossible for you to get a bad deal. Now, you know your wife, the mother of your children, the woman you started out with nothing, is a woman. And it doesn't matter if she went up to standard 2 or she never went to school at all. She has something in her called a sixth sense. She will always be able to see things that you cannot see, especially where it involves other human beings. Now, when you go with the mpango akando to such a deal, yes, she has a sixth sense. She's a woman. However, she lacks one very important thing. She doesn't have the authority. Now, authority allows you to do a lot of things that you'd not otherwise do without that authority. Now, I'm keenly aware of the fact that there's some mpango akandos that are really wives. They have that authority. They're genuine. They genuinely love the man. They're not in this relationship for the money. Maybe they even have children together. So that case is different. That case is an exception. But what do most men in Kenya do? Most men in Kenya who get into very powerful positions, who have a lot of money, will not have their wife next to them. They'll have a mpango akando. And this, for all intents and purposes, is a woman who can be called only by one name, a gold digger. In a poor country such as Kenya is, this woman is after the man's money. And us men are very stupid, or shall I say weak. Actually, in many respects, men are the weaker sex. Because if a woman decides to seduce a man, it's done, game shot. You're the ugliest guy in the world. Your mouth smells. You don't have any grooming. You don't take regular baths. But this woman will come into your life and she'll tell you she can't live another day without you. She'll even break into tears. Now. When a woman breaks into tears, it is wired in a man that a man will be touched. And when that woman is breaking into tears because of her love, her alleged love for that man, it's game shot, game over. Huyo mwanaume ataingia box. And we have a lot of women who are schemers. If that man is met by friends and a friend advises him, this woman is after your money, the man will violently deny it. She has not asked me for any money. She still stays in that small room I found her in. She never asks me for money. In fact, one day after I'd visited her, I came back the next day. She told me she did not eat the night before. Why? She didn't have money. This woman is genuine. Women can be schemers. Something else you should know. Evil women are attracted to power the way flies are attracted to filth. Power and money. Therefore, if you get money, be very careful. Be very wary of women. And that is where the point where you get money, you should only rely on those who are with you when you did not have that money. So back to the politics. You're a senior government official. You have disobeyed several court orders. You're not interested in what people are telling you about doing things that should stand the test of time. Generally, you're displaying your power. You're showing people how powerful you are. And you're forgetting that there's something called tissue paper syndrome. If you missed that recording, you can click the link above and you'll go to it straight away and you'll understand what I'm talking about when I say tissue paper syndrome. And unfortunately, these very powerful, these very rich people do not have their wives. They have mpango wa kandos. People who came to their lives after they became rich. People who came to their lives after they became powerful. If it was the genuine mother of their children, the genuine wife, they would stop them. They would tell them, Bwana CS, I know you're very powerful, but think of the future of our children. Yeah? When you leave this post, because you leave this post one day, and then our son goes to introduce himself somewhere, and he says, I'm so-and-so, son of so-and-so, how will they be treated? What will happen to our son when we are long gone? Yeah? What will happen to our great-grandson or even our grandson when we are no longer on this earth? Please, Bwana CS, my husband, stop what you're doing. Take stock of what you're doing. That's the work of a wife. And many times, the biggest mistake many African leaders have made is when they're in power, they have not gone into power with their wives. Many African dictators who have fallen, many African dictators who terrible things have happened to them, abandoned their genuine wives. Because if they had gone into power with their wives, they'd have been very different leaders. That is my view. Men, your wife, your genuine wife, is your last line of defense. And in many cases, your only line of defense. And therefore, if you do not have a proper wife, you are done. You're extremely vulnerable, no matter how smart you are. Now, today I'm going to give you some homework. Just look at all the top officials who people are always complaining about on social media. And do a little research. Who are their wives? How do they treat their wives? Who are their wives in real life? Do they appear in public with their wives during national celebrations? Have you ever seen them in public with their wives? Because that's a great test of who their wives are in their lives. If they have not already, you can understand where 90% of their problem is coming from. And I'm very serious. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.